So this is the A problem. Two groups. You are given an array consist of n integers. You want to distribute these n integer into two group s1 minus s2. So group can be empty. So the following condition are satisfied. And for each ai goes to exactly one group, and the value will be as sum of absolute value of s1 first group and sum of all the values of second group. So we have to find the this can be how can be this can maximal value. Okay, so we have some values a1 to an, and these can be negative. Okay, we are need to divide it into two groups. So can be s1, this can be s2. Oh, we need to divide this now. uh, if so these value from minus 10 to the power 9 to plus 10 to the power 9. Okay, so if it is negative, let's say I'm saying that uh, yeah, I'm saying I'm taking all the positive value here, s1 s2 s3 and some not s1 s2 s3. Oh man. Okay, some value like a1 plus a2 and a3, and if some value is negative, it is always good that I'm all the positive value I take on the one group. Okay, because there is no restriction. There should be value must be at least one value or something like there is no restrictions, so we can freely do that. And if it is negative value, then it will, if it is a negative value, so it is good so that we are taking it into the other group. So that's it, we have to segregate the coding if it is positive in one group, and if it is negative we have to put in other group. So if you want, let me see the code. So we are here, you can see I'm taking the value. If it less than 0 I'm putting into second group, and if it is greater than 0 I'm putting in first group. So value will be just difference of this, because it is negative and it comes to be negative, that is okay, it comes to be negative because s1 having the all the negative values. So if you say, if you're doing the absolute and negative and subtracting that, that will be the same case. Okay, so I'm just putting the value. Second, this is the second problem. So what we need to do is, okay, I know the problem. Yeah, and we know ban integer. Okay, so what do I need to do is I have something like ban, 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 ban. Okay, so there it is, we have to arrange something, we have to do some operation like swapping. We have to do swapping. I have to choose I and j and do swapping. So in the min, so that after the swapping, after like say this string change to something else, then this string hasn't have any ban as a subsequence. Okay, not as substring, as a substring, as subsequence, both are like as a subsequence. Does not have b, like b is here, a is here and n is here. So it can be something like that. So you can, and there are many possible ways to do this problem. So first way is that we are just arranging all the, like all the a's after b. For every b, like I'm just taking a out of b. This is a problem, so that after that all our a's are there and b and n are there. So I want to rearrange the a so that band can't be formed. Or we can do something like that. I have band, I will just going through, I will making n before the a. I just swapping n and a, so n will become l, n will be before the a, so ban will never be formed. So let's see if how can we do that. So let's say for an example, this is I have ban, ban and 3 ban. So I am starting from here, the using two pointer I can easily do that, I and j. When I found this is I, this is j, so when if I found this is a, then what I need to do, I need to swap it with the last n. So it will be n n. Now I just, then the another a is found here, then I will replace with this one. Okay, that I need to do. I will replace a with n, so that it will become something from this to it will become something like this. So like all the n are before what I want to. So like what I want to achieve in this, I want to achieve is that all the a n are before the a, that I want to achieve. Using two pointer I can do that. So many ways to do this problem actually. So if you see that I have, first of all I have s and there is only given an integer n. That means s is a mm, that much of time I need. S is a, what is said is a string having a consecutive number of times. So I will include and this a for the n times. Then I will, this is the result which two are I'm going to swap. So if I found I, I'm just using two pointer j and I. If I found a, then I will start from backward. So when I found n, then I will swap this one. Then I will gonna swap and I will put that these are my result. And if I found that I is less than, like j is already less than I, that means they are, that is like something like that, that I have a, then if I am just doing I and j and I will cross the j, then because this is already sorted, already according to our need, so we don't have to do anything else. Yeah, I then I will break and I will print out the rest. That I want to do. I am doing nothing else. Just I'm making sure that all the A's are after the N. That's it. So this is the third problem. Okay. So this is a very interesting problem by the way, and very easy problem. But I say that this is a kind of a tricky problem. So what I'm is getting that A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. So first observation is that if a person, let's say any person like Alice or Bob, A and B, I am taking the name A and B, then if A and B are uh, what I will say, then in a complete cycle, the complete cycle in the sense of two turns, in the two turn, uh, every digit will gonna, every number will decrease by one. Okay, how this is so, like if it is having 2 3 4 5. Okay, now if alias in the first run this will gonna change, then what will be, it will be like 3 and this will gonna decrease 1 4 5. And in second one let's say this will gonna change, so it will become 4 1 2. So you can see that in two operation one of the values changes. Okay, and it also comes to the same person. Like if this is 3 value and ally starts changing, then it again come to the allies only. Okay, this again comes to allies only. So you can see that there is a complete cycle. If allies start to working on any of the any of the this any of the value, then again and again it will comes to allies only. So what allies, so allies moves first, he move first. So what he do, let's say I'm not talking about 80, I have all the values a to a1 to a of n minus 1. So what he will gonna do, he will gonna do, he will take so he what we are saying here is that value will not be exchanged. Like if someone is started with two value, then he will having the two value, when his turn will come out, then two values always be there, then this value is always there. Like if this is three value, then again his turn is come out, then this value is in the array, that I want to say. So for this, so when it becomes zero, let's say it becomes zero, then this will become zero after two rounds. Then Allah is gonna uh, make it here and gonna swap it with a1, so it will be 0 1 4. Then Bob will defeat it, then Bob is defeated and Alice wins. Okay, so every number is increasing by one in a cycle of two turns. In two turns value, every one number is decreasing and every number remains same. It will be same in the sense it will be same behalf of who is current, behalf of person, means any person chooses a number, then after his turn will come, then this number will be in the array, same, something like that. Okay, so if Alice want to win, then he will always choose the minimum number, so it will minimally become 0. Let's say there is a number and 2 3 4 5. So let's say this number is 4, 2 3 4. So Alice choose this number because this is the smallest number. So when it will take out this value, so this will be uh, whatever it is, then it will become 2, this will become 3 minus 1 3 3 4. And after that Bob can do any of the turn is 3, then this will, so this is the Alice array which Alice will gonna get, can make any turn, this will be Bob. Now so you can see that Alice chooses this value, now this value is not available for Bob. Now Alice come, then this value is in the array, this value will come, and 3, this will become 1, and it will become 3 and 4. When Alice make another change, then it become Alice, sorry, this is array for Bob, now there is Bob turn, so it will become 0 2 3 4. Now when Alice make a turn, Bob make a turn, for the Alice the available array will be 2. Oh, okay, that game over, because it will be 0, because after a turn will, one turn will be there, because on the next turn it will become 0, and it will become 0, then Alice will, this Alice wins, because in the turn of Bob age 1 is 0. So you can see that this value, the smallest value is always in the array, available in the array when Alice having the turn. So Alice will gonna choose the minimum one, so he will gonna always win. But in a second I say I don't discuss about the A0 problem. So if A0 is smaller than the current one, because at the moment, at the first moment, Alice choose any number from A1 to A1. So he will try to choose the minimum. But if this value is already the minimum, if A0 is the minimum, then Bob will win. Okay, because this is the only value that Allah is not gonna choose, because it will choose, he have to choose from A1 to AN. So best, that's it, that's the only case when Bob will win. If A0 is the minimum thing, is the minimum in the array, then he will gonna win, otherwise he not gonna win, because then if it is A node is not the minimum, then Alice will gonna always gonna choose the minimum value. So let me see you the code. So here we go. Yeah, very simple code, by the way. I am finding the minimum in the array. So what I am doing is I am always finding the minimum in the array. That is the minima. And if minima is a naught, then it will be Bob, otherwise it will be Alice. And you if say that like these are the same values 2 2 2 3 3 4, then Alice also have the same value, Bob also have the same value, because but when the first run Alice make the first run, this will gonna become 1, so this is the first value which decreases. Okay, this will become 1, so this value first gonna become 0. That's why if it is similar, if any other value is also same, then no, Bob will gonna win. Okay, Allies only win if this value is not the smallest one, then that guy, okay, otherwise it is not. Okay, let me this is the problem. You are given an array a of n integers a1 to an, and you have to process the q queries, independent queries, consist of two integer l to r, considering the al can from, so we are just given an subarray of al to r, so we have to apply two type of, okay, so we have to apply a one type we have to choose l to r and replace all its element with their zor. So but sir range must be odd, so what we given is that We are given a1 to an elements and some kind of L to R. So let's consider this as an array. So instead of I'm saying that I'm given L to R, I'm saying I'm giving an array from AL to AR. Okay. Now the first observation is that if the ZOR of all elements from AL to AR, okay, ZOR of AL to AR is 0, then 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 only then only we can able to replace the all, we can able to make all the elements 0. Okay, so how it is so? Because we are having one a1, a2, a3, a4, a5, a6. Okay, so at the end of the thing, we have to, like, we are taking from here to here even length, then from here to here even length, and from here to here. At the end of, we are just, if you see, we are just taking a1 zor, a2 zor, a3 zor to an zor, a6 zor. Okay, if this is 0, then only we can make up to zeros. If it is not 0, actually if it is not 0, then we can't make every element if of this is 0. Yeah, so this is the, so first we have to check if it is 0, if elements are 0, if from L to R is 0. So how can we check using this? So we are just making another array. I will let you know how to check. If we this, that is a solution part, we are on the observation part. What are the observations we should make? Okay, uh, L to R, if it is 0, then we can make. And if the length, if it is 0, if it is not, then answer will be -1. Now we are just coming down, we are filtering down. Now we have AL to R is equal to 0. So if length is odd, that R minus L plus 1 is odd, then answer will be 1. Or A R is equal to 0 or AL is equal to 0, then the remaining length will be odd if length is even. If it is odd, then will be 1. And if third is, if it is even, if it is even, and if AR is equal to 0 of AR or AL is equal to 0, then the remaining length will be odd, and then it should be 1. Answer will be 1. Now the part comes. Okay, we are at even, so let's filter down, or let's consider or the 1 2 3 4 all these equations, or all these observations. So what we have now, we have a array of length is even, zor is of all elements is 0, and somehow we have to make the, can we make all elements 0 or not? Here is the problem. All 0 or not? So but we can only take length b can be only taken be odd. That's can be proven for, if we want to do any applying to of operation. So we have to take length that is of length is odd, or L to R that is of length odd. So what I'm saying is that, let's say I'm just working 1 2 3, this is the observation. Okay, 4 5. So the same parity, that is even to even, the length will be odd. If odd to odd, the length will be even, the length will be odd. From the same parity, the length will be odd. So we can apply the kind of, and if length is even, let's say it is length from 2 to 9, 2 to 10, 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, 2 to 9. So the length will be of or even distance. And if it is same priority like 2 to 4, the length is odd, always odd. If they are of same priority, like these are both are even, so length will be even. So length is odd, so length is odd. If these, now we can see that are both are odd, so length will be 3, that is also odd. And we can see that 2 to 9, index 2 to 9. So what is that? these are of different priority, so length is even. So say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, so length is even. Okay, now, and one thing is even is equal to odd plus odd. We can say that two odd will be gonna make one even. So what we need to find is that we have a range from L to R, that is from 2 to 9, and we have to only find that we can only take odd elements. So we have to only find that if it is odd, if it is even, in even element, that 2 4 6 or 8, if there anything like from these all the elements, from that, from 2 to 4, if the like if the XOR from 2 to 4 element is 0. Okay, if 2 to 4 elements, then the length is odd, and if XOR is 0, so we can say if this XOR is 0, then this will be 0. How is this can be, this is 0, so we are find out that this is 0. Okay, this is 0, and we know that the XOR of whole is 0. From here to here, 2 to 9 is 0. So it 2 to 9 is 0 is equal to 2 XOR 3 XOR 4 XOR 9. Okay, and we know that 2 to 4 is 0, so 2 4 0 we can replace with 0, and 0 XOR, and this is having some XOR, and 0 XOR is equal to XOR, so this must be 0. Okay, that's it. So if it is odd paired even paired number, we need to just see that if there are any odd elements having the same value, or I mean sorry, same priority number having the 0 XOR from this value to this value, then we can say that it is having, so we can able to do this problem in, so answer will be 2. That's it. Okay, so what I'm trying to see is that if it is even, so I am trying to take the only the, I am seeing towards the only even number indices, such that the XOR is 0, and if it is 0, so length is odd, then this other remaining length is also odd, and thus must be XOR is 0. So in two operation we can do that, so operation will be 2. Okay, so the problem is how can we find that any, if it is even, let's say if it is even, any greater even indices such that XOR is 0. And first of all, how can we say that XOR is 0 or not in of one time? So let me say that we are taking an element XOR. This XOR, I'm making an array B. Okay, so B of I is XOR from 0 element to A of I. Okay, and if I am saying that we have to check from AL to AR. Okay, if I am saying that XOR that is B of L of minus 1 is equal to B of R. That means if XOR from 0 to L minus 1 is equal to 0 to R, then I definitely say that XOR from L to R is equal to 0. How? So from 0 to R, this what this value holds. What this value have? This value have A of 0 XOR, A of 1 XOR to A of R XOR. Okay, and this value having is A0 XOR, A1 XOR to A of, I say A of L minus 1, and here is L minus 1, L minus 1, L minus 1, and XOR A of L. So if this is 0, if this is 3, and so I can replace this with 3, so the equation will become 3 XOR A of L, A of R. And we also know that the whole XOR is also 3. So this is only be possible because this XOR is 0, because 0 XOR A is equal to A. Okay, because we know that from A of R and both are equal, so this is 3, then replace by 3, and this can be equal to 3 if this is 0, because 0 XOR A is only A. So Okay, we can easily find out in O of 1 if R or L minus 1 ZOR is 0, 1 equal, so we can say that. Okay, so how can we find that from E1, like having that L is even or odd, so we can, how can we find that? We're gonna find out the next one, even same parity of index having this same value. If having the same value, so we can say that their zone is 0. That we are just see now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that I'm making two arrays, two map of vector, map int of vector, or I will say set. In set I will can look up in of n. So this will be two value, that is odd and even. When the parity is odd, I'm inserting the value in the odd set of some value, and even even values in the even set. Okay, तो अब क्या किया मैंने, दो सेट, दो ले लिए, दो सेट ले लिए, दो मैप ले लिए, एक ओड एक इवन। सो हर एक वैल्यू पे, मतलब एक वैल्यू किस किसी इंडेक्स पे होगी। ओके, तो ये एक मैंने सेट में ले लिया, एक मैं ले लिया ओड पे। सो इसमें सिर्फ मैं ओड इंडेसिस डालूंगा, उस ओड इंडेसिस की वैल्यू डालूंगा एक इवन पे, इस पे सिर्फ मैं इवन की, इवन इंडेसिस की वैल्यू डालूंगा। बस यही करते जाना। फिर मुझे टू पे मैं देखूंगा कि टू पे वैल्यू है, बी ऑफ वैल्यू 5 है, तो फिर मैं 5 की वैल्यू पे इवन वाले में जाके 5 की वैल्यू पे उसका नेक्स्ट इंडेक्स देख लूंगा, अपर बाउंड। ठीक है, अगर वो जो लास्ट एलिमेंट है उससे छोटा है, मैं कहूँगा कि हाँ कोई एलिमेंट है जिसकी जो ओड लेंथ का होगा। ओके, सो इट वैल्यू विल बी 2। सो इफ आई शो यू सॉल्यूशन, here we go. Okay, so first of all I'm taking a b and 0, and if all are 0 then value will be 0 because it is already 0. Okay, I am taking map of odd and even which storing set at at all the values. Okay, I am taking c of n of I. So increase, if it is 0, I am maintaining the 0 element and the zor element. Zor element is zor from 0 to ai elements, that is storing the b of I plus 1. So I am taking I plus 1 because in this I need to subtract L minus 1. If it is 0, I have to check L minus 1 will be greater than 0. For that, to avoid those cases, I will taking n plus 1 and 0 also n plus 1. Okay, same case if it is index is even, so I am storing this value in the even, and if it is odd, I am storing this value on the odd. Then we have two values L and R. So I will first count the how many zeros, that will be R to L minus 1. If it is the number of equal to the number of length, then I say it is already 0, so I will put out 0. Then second thing is I am outputting if the zor is not equal. It is not equal, that means the zor is not 0 from L to R. If it is not 0, the value is minus 1. Then we have to find, now we have filtered out that the zor is 0. Now we have to check if the length is odd. If length is odd, I say I am taking all the elements and the zor is 0 and length is odd. So in one operation I can do that. Okay, now if the first element is a of L, my L element is 0 और last L a of, so L और R, so इनमें से अगर कोई एक एलिमेंट भी 0 हुआ, so the remaining length will be, so now after this if after this, if the length it will be remaining टू इवन ओनली, बिकॉज ओड वाली तो फिल्टर हो गई, ओड वाली तो ये लेके चला जाएगा, अब बस इवन वाली वैल्यू नीचे आएंगी, नहीं तो ये कंटिन्यू हो जाएगा। ओके, सो वी सीइंग फॉर द इवन वैल्यूज, एंड इफ फर्स्ट एलिमेंट और लास्ट एलिमेंट इज 0, सो वी कैन से दैट नाउ वी हैव रिमेनिंग द ओड लेंथ अरे, सो द वैल्यू कैन बी 1 इज 1। सो मैंने एल आर माइनस माइनस कर दिया, तो फिर अब मैं बस वही कर रहा हूँ, एल माइनस 1, ये इससे पहले का जोर कितना आ रहा है उतना मैं सर्च कर रहा हूँ, अपर बाउंड कर रहा हूँ। फिर मैं देख रहा हूँ कि ये इस वैल्यू पे नेक्स्ट होगा, क्योंकि अब मैं देख रहा हूँ कि एल वैल्यू अगर ओड है, क्योंकि ये मैंने माइनस क्यों किया, क्योंकि मैंने जो यहाँ पे लिया था वो फ्रॉम 0 से स्टार्ट हुआ था, ये है ना, ये 0 से स्टार्ट हो रही है। सो इफ यहाँ देखोगे, बहुत ऊपर देखोगे तो 4 I to n I इक्वल टू 0 से स्टार्ट हो रहा है। ओके, इसलिए मैंने इसको भी मैं सेम पैरिटी रहे तो 0 स्टार्ट किया। मैंने कहा कि ओड है तो मैं ओड वाले में चेक करूँगा कि इस वैल्यू पे और एल से बड़ा वाला कोई एलिमेंट है, नेक्स्ट क्या होगा? अगर वो आर से छोटा है तो कहूँगा कि मैं दो वैल्यूम कर सकता, नहीं तो -1। सेम केस इसमें मैं इवन वाले में चेक करूँगा, मैं कर सकता हूँ, ओके। like if it is smaller than n, the next value that having the same value at an index, that is index having is smaller than r, then I will say okay, I can do it in two operations, otherwise I can't do it. That's it. Okay, thank you.